Right, Danny, well, aside from the nice tan, how was the warm weather training in Dubai?
It was good. I think it was really productive. The attitude was really good to the work that we did. We've had 2 weeks of good work, a lot of hard work, and we hope come Saturday we can get value for that.
What were you able to learn about the group in that time?
Well, I think it's always great to spend time, particularly when you're a new group. Human relationships only build over time, and the longer you spend together, the more you get to know each other, the more you get to understand each other, and I think that naturally brings you together. And certainly we had some good work on the grass. We probably off the back of the Preston game, I picked up some injuries that we hadn't anticipated, so it wasn't ideal in terms of the tactical work that we would have liked to have done, because we weren't quite able to do as much as we would have liked in that respect. But certainly we got some good physical returns from them. We had a good opportunity to spend some time in smaller groups, did some good departmental work, did some work with the leadership group, did some work with the younger players, had a good team bonding afternoon, which was good fun, and probably stretched the players, took them out of their comfort zone a little bit, and certainly got to understand them a little bit more through that. So that was a beneficial afternoon, and definitely by Thursday, Friday, you could feel that the group were coming together.
You mentioned some of those injuries, some of those knocks that may have been picked up in the Preston game. I'd run through a few of the names. First, Fraser Campbell. Of course, he didn't play in the Preston game, but what's his situation at the moment?
Yeah, I think, listen, we've got a number of injury issues, unfortunately, and they're mounting up. For us, it's always been to try to avoid the soft tissue injuries, which I think you can do through intelligent training and through conditioning the players to be able to cope with the demands of championship football. The contact injuries are the ones that are much more difficult to deal with, and without going into the specifics, because I wouldn't want to before match day. We've got a number of issues. Obviously, you'll know about Tommy Elphick, and he'll be a huge loss to us both on the pitch, but also off the pitch. He's a great character, a strong character. Was influencing the group more and more every day. So to lose him to what is actually a cruciate knee injury. So he's ruptured his medial. When they opened the knee up, we also found some cruciate damage as well. So that is going to be a long-term injury, and first and foremost, we're bitterly disappointed for him as a boy, because we think a lot of him, and you never like to see your players going through this type of situation. But he's a determined and resilient human being, and I've no doubt he'll come back bigger and better. And in the interim, we'll look after him as very best as we can, and we will try to use him within the group in other capacities, because, like I said, he can't play, but what he has got is a wealth of experience. He's been coached and managed by some of the best people in football, and we will try to use his skill set and his wisdom in other ways to positively affect the group.
You mentioned long term. I mean, are we talking season ending here, or is there a timescale?
Well, it's a cruciate knee injury, so you straight away look at 9 months because of the nature of that ligament in particular. It's a huge risk to come back before that 9-month period. There's a rupture in his medial ligament as well. So, we all saw the tackle that led to that, and it was a particularly reckless challenge. And listen, we were disappointed at the time that it wasn't dealt with more severely, but it just shows you, what can happen if those type of tackles take place.
Another one of your back four that was forced off in the Preston game was that of Donnie Simpson. Is he going to be okay for tomorrow?
Well, Danny picked up a hip injury. He wanted to play on in the game, and we were aware of it at half time. And he's the type of boy that didn't want to leave his team in a difficult moment as we were in. But we decided at 60 minutes that we needed to kind of damage limitation and try to protect him, which is obviously what we did, and he hasn't been able to train since then. So we anticipate that we'll be without three of our back four that played in the 7-game run that we had. And while this is difficult, and it means that there's a huge barrier in front of us, we as a group are determined to try to find a way to overcome that barrier. And if you can't come over it, and you can't go around it, then maybe you've got to try to go through it. And for us, we understand what the challenge is in front of us tomorrow, but we're really focused and really determined as a group not to make excuses, but to find a way, and that's what we intend to do.
One would assume then that third being Jayden Brown.
Yeah, Jayden obviously picked up an ankle injury in a tackle at Brentford, so no, he won't be available to receive him, and that's unfortunately where it is. Like I said, the soft tissue injuries are something that you can normally you always want to avoid. The contact injuries are the ones that there's not so much you can do, and with these three, there's not too much that we can do, unfortunately.
You talk about then tackling through that barrier. Focusing ahead to tomorrow and your opponents, Birmingham, what do you make of them as a challenge?
Well, I think it will be a really tough game. I think you'll find a team that have got the option to go quite quickly into Jukovic, who is a point of reference for them, and physically is really tough for centre halves to handle. But also they've got some really technical midfield players, and they like to roll their wide players in. They like to overload you in central areas. They've got some really technical players that can unlock even organised compact defences, and they've got some fullbacks that are particularly athletic on the overlap, and that give them some width into their game as well. So no, we understand the complexity of the challenge in front of us. I think it's going to be a really tough game, but we're back home. It feels like a long time since we last played. Certainly a long time since we last played at home, and we've worked really hard in this 2 week. I don't think there'll be a championship team that has worked as hard as we have done in this international break, and we, like I said to the players, if you're weak, then you train and you feel tired. If you're strong, you train and you feel fitter and stronger. And we feel fit and strong at this moment. We're really focused on trying to get value for all the hard work that we've put in over this period.